how do I move on when the alcoholic has moved on because I set boundaries up in my life? That's kind of the way it reads, and I wish I could get more information on it, but I think I understand the point. You've got an alcoholic in your life, and you've decided, I'm done. I've been listening to Karen. I've been going to Al-Anon. I cannot live like this anymore, right? I'm going to put down some boundaries. I'm going to move on with my life. Now, not everyone decides to do that. Some people decide that they are going to stay with their loved one, but set up boundaries within that relationship. Whatever you want to do. But the question is pretty much, how do you move on when you set up boundaries and they move on? See, I think this is the problem. It's easy to set up a boundary if you think someone's going to do what you want, right? So I'm gonna say no, because now they're going to do what I want. What if you say no and they don't do what you want? Right? The goal of saying no or setting a boundary is not to get what you want. It's not to coerce somebody or force somebody into a direction. You're doing what you need for you. That's why it's really important to go to Al-Anon, right? Because otherwise you're going to continue to think that the reason you're going to Al-Anon is to get this person to do what you want. That's not why you're going to Al-Anon or Nar-Anon. That's not why you're listening to me. You're listening to me, you're listening to others about codependency because you're sick and tired of living the way you are. You cannot take it. It's the craziness of alcoholism is driving you crazy, right? You do not have to be an alcoholic addict to suffer from someone's alcoholism, right? You're trying to get better no matter what they do. That's difficult. What happens when you set a boundary? I have another question this morning I'm going to do separately, but it's very much similar. Watch the next few vlogs if this is your scenario, if you're a codependent. What do you do when you set a boundary and they get worse, right? Or let's say I have a husband and I've set a boundary and I'm done and I'm going to tell you, you got to go. I am not putting my kids around this anymore. You got to leave until you get some help, because we're not going to do this anymore. And you're off the bank accounts. You're gone. And he goes and he gets a little apartment because his parents pay for it or something, right? Somebody gives him, a buddy gives him some money, and he gets an apartment, and then he meets a girl, and she's younger than you. And they're going to the clubs, and they're partying, and wait a minute. This is not what was supposed to happen. You are having a great time. What is going on here? Now, this happens sometimes, and it's like, oh my God, what did I do? Let me tell you something. That is short-lived. If the person you are in love with, living with, married to, is an alcoholic addict, that little hurrah is going to go wait it out. You're not crazy. You never would have thought of setting a boundary, going to Al-Anon, getting help, protecting you and your kids if there wasn't a problem. Do not doubt yourself and watch the show. Eventually he's going to run out of money. He's going to lose the job. The girl's going to leave. She's probably going to crash his car before she goes, right? It's going to be a shit show. Kicked out of the clubs, bugging you for cash, right? The whole deal. You've got to wait a minute. Just wait a minute. It might look like roses. They're suffering, especially if they've just lost their wife and kids. So don't buy into that. Oh, I should have kept him. I should have stayed in with him, and I should have helped him. Don't do that. If you've made up your mind, if you've gotten help at Al-Anon and Nar-Anon, and you've made a conscious decision to move forward with your life, then you move forward, regardless of what they're doing. It might look like they're moving forward. Let's see. You're not crazy, right? You're the one working, paying the bills, taking care of the children, right? You're the one doing this. Focus on your recovery. It's the best chance for help they have, is if you do not buy into that bullshit. I'm telling you, it's just, alcoholism is a crazy illness. Crazy train. Do not get on the train with them. and your heart might be broken because they met someone new the girl who understands. You know what? She's going to understand for about 10 minutes, and then she's going to get sick of that shit too. Don't buy it. You're fine. Stay the course. The only chance this person has is that you're going to have a program, your own program of recovery, regardless of what they're doing. Even if they get sober and come back to you, you're going to keep that program of recovery. You have to. Alcoholism is out to kill him and you and your kids and that girl that he just took hostage. I get it. This is hard stuff, but I have walked women through this. I think of my friend Corey. Corey, if you're watching this, comment please. Who did this and was in the crux of it, had him in the house, and he was going through the cash, and she was going more and more into debt, and everything was going to crazy town, and she just took the leap and said, you gotta go. You gotta go. And she got an attorney, and she stopped the spending, and she got the debt, and she protected her business, and she's moved on, and she is doing great, and I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's getting sober. Someday he might get sober and come back and thank her. Thank you for leaving me. Thank you for getting out of that, because I never would have gotten help. I never would have crashed if you didn't do that. It's complicated. You can't buy into your feelings. That's why you need a group. That's why you need a counselor, a therapist, or better yet, an Al-Anon or Nar-Anon group, because those people are talking about their own experience, and then you get to decide. It's different than a therapist sitting there telling you, you know what, you need to leave your husband. You know what, don't tell me what to do. I'm not leaving my husband. But if you listen to enough other people's experiences, you will make your own decision if you want to leave or stay or what you need to do. You get to make the decisions in a 12-step group. That's the beauty of it. No one's telling you what to do. So, not even me. What I'm telling you is, if you're moving forward, regardless, keep going forward. Don't watch all that craziness going on in the alcoholics' lives. Keep moving forward. Do what you're doing. It will all make sense soon.